Okay, my friends, what a privilege and honor it is to be able to sit here together with you, to be in the Zettler's home, and to share in this space, to share together in a space of growth and a space of connection. And, the question or the title that was given was how to be a proud Jewish businessman. And the question of pride, or the question of being within this realm of experience, of engaging with the world outside, is a very big question for all of us. And the question is, how do we engage with our lives? How do we engage with the world outside? And I was speaking to Orly here just now, Durbanite, and he said to me, how's your week been? And I said, it's been a good week. He said to me, has it been a successful week? Has it been a productive week? I said to him, whoa. Successful, productive, what is your question? Was it a successful week or was it a productive week? And if I was to really take his words and ask you, in your own life, what is the definition of a successful week? And what is the definition of a productive week? Are those two similar energies or are those two separate energies? Are these aligned? Are these intermingled, interwoven? How does one clarify or quantify those two categories? And I want to share with you something that I picked up last week, even though Pinchas told me 2 weeks ago, something that I found really poignant. Because me being a rabbi and you being businessmen is maybe a definition, but I think we're all businessmen in the sense that we have to engage with life. And I think what clarifies or really defines what an individual is in their life and what may be the definition of a businessman is something called the chase. What is the chase? How do you experience the chase? So the chase, I think everyone experiences, be it you're a rabbi or a businessman, we're all involved in a chase. And that chase is this consistent space of what can I achieve, what can I do, what can I develop, what can I change? And the question of one's chase is a very big question. If you say to someone you're a successful businessman, generally in their mind, all the chasing, they're getting all their prey on a consistent level. They're attaining all of their goals, they're doing what they need to be doing, and maybe that's the definition of a successful businessman. But I want to posit that maybe that's not. Maybe that there is another realm of experiencing an element of life that actually defines or creates a distinction between what it means to be successful and what it means to be productive. What does it mean to be successful? So I want to share with you, I've translated most of these sources, but let's try and engage with a question that is going to jump out from this source to us. This is a copy of 3 verses brought down from last week's parasha. And the parasha says like this: I will grant peace in the land, and you shall lie down untroubled by anyone. I will give the land respite from vicious beasts, and no sword shall cross your land. That's a blessing that God gave the Jewish people. Sounds like a good blessing. How would you quantify this blessing in one word? Anyone?
Shalom.
Shalom. Peace. Peace. There is peace in the land, no beasts to contend with, nothing to engage with, no sword shall cross your land. Now listen to the next verse. Your army shall give chase to your enemies, and they shall fall before you by the sword. 5 of you shall give chase to 100, and 100 of you shall give chase to 10,000. Your enemies shall fall before you by the sword. I will look with favor upon you and make you fertile and multiply you, and I will maintain my covenant with you. What question could we ask by reading these sources? We've just been given a blessing of peace. What's the exact verse that transpires after this verse? War. And it tells us in war, what's going to transpire? Is you're going to have enemies chase you, and you're going to be able to kill them. 1 second. We just spoke about peace. Why are you telling us now that we've been blessed with peace, that there will be war and you will have to eliminate your enemy? That's the question that is brought down by the teaching of the Likutei Halachot, which is the teachings of Rabbi Nassan of Breslov. So he asks this question. Says this is a contradiction of sorts in the parasha. But we understand when it comes to Judaism, when you find a contradiction, usually found within is a very deep secret for life. And I want to share this secret with you tonight. He basically says like this. If we come back to the question of success, you look at a person and you say, what is success? So success generally, if you ask yourself, what does it make you feel when you feel successful? Or what does it mean to you when you feel successful? Ideally, the outcome of that experience is something called peace. You want to feel peaceful in yourself. You want to feel, I feel as we have a very good terminology, Fish, you like this terminology, I feel geschmack. I feel good. I feel like my life, everything's in order, things are expanding, things are working, I feel good. Maybe that's the definition of feeling successful, feeling good. But you know what the Likutei Halachos brings from this? He says that ultimate success is not when you find feeling good in moments of peace. Finding success is when you're in the chase or you're being chased and you can eliminate the enemy. Again, what this means to us is this. We have those moments in life where we can chill. I said to Adrian, we should all go and use the sauna after, or the steam room. It'd be a very bonding experience for us all to chill together. He was very obliging. But he said to me, I haven't actually used the sauna for ages. I haven't. Been too busy. So maybe we have moments in our lives when we're not too busy. I don't know what that is and what that looks like for a successful person. But what the Likutei Halachos says is in life, we have to learn the art of being able to eliminate the chase while you are chasing. Meaning you are on the prowl. You are looking to achieve. You're going for it. The enemy is chasing you, so to speak, means you are the enemy. You are chasing. That's part of you that you want to achieve, you want to attain. You need to be able to learn to turn and face yourself and shecht that. Kill that off. Not because you shouldn't be successful and you shouldn't attain, but what he's saying is true success and peace is found in something much deeper. I want to share with you a story that will give you a little bit of an insight. Once went to visit a very prominent individual in the community, very involved, very successful. They had just gone through a very, very tumultuous time in their life. They had cancer, and thank God they survived. And I was sitting with them. And this individual had a book on the table. And he said to me, the very important book, I want to share with you an idea that I read from this book. He read this book about some guru. And the guru says, this is how he lives his life. Every night before you go to sleep, you need to make 2 lists. One list, you have to write all of the things that you want to achieve the next day. Okay? And this was his chidush, this was his novelty. The second list, you need to write a list of all of the great and good things that you want to achieve. You want to call your mum to say hi. You want to go do some charity. You want to go and look after this person. All of the good things that you want to achieve. And that's the list, the 2 lists that you need. So I said to him, wow, gewaltig, beautiful, amazing. Very important to have a list. I have a list. But I want to tell you a secret. In Judaism, there's a 3rd category. You know what that 3rd category is? The 3rd category is not the numbers and everything that's written on the list. The 3rd category is the white page that's behind that list. The empty space in between the list. Because I think in today's society, we have lost track of what it means to be alive. Our life is defined by our chase, and our chase is defined by how many prey we are able to destroy and kill. And in that we emerge and we have elements of our lives that we're engaging with that breed success. But what Rabbi Nachman is teaching us here from B'chukoisai is You want true success? You want true peace? Find yourself in and amongst the space of chasing. Find that part of you that has that list, and then ask yourself, what's on the blank paper of myself? Now, to help us try and understand what on earth this means, because for a lot of people, they don't know what we're talking about here. Life is about achievement. Life is about doing. Life is about what you can achieve. So what is this other space that you're talking about? So I wanted to read to you the story, the teaching from Pirkei Avos. And it's a very powerful teaching. I've summarized it here for you, I've taken an excerpt. It says like this: the more property a person has, the more anxiety they have. Simple few words, eh? The more property you have, the more anxiety you have. Pirkei Avos.
More money, more problems.
More money, more problems. Now, a person thinks the opposite. They say to themselves, the more I have, the less problems I have. I can have so many capabilities, things that I don't have to worry about, things I can pay for to get done. But the deeper Kabbalistic teaching behind this is the more that you have, the more you start to rely on having to exist. The more property you have, the more that starts to define the essence of who you are, and you lose your essence. And when a person loses their essence is when they discover something called anxiety, God forbid. To which I want to conclude with the following teachings. The Likutei Halachos carries on, and he speaks about something which you can read to yourself, but he says, even if it seems that he has, this is in source number 4, even if it seems that he has great peace, this is not peace at all. Okay, we won't go through the exact interpretation of the words there, but he says, how can he possibly have true peace? For even in his very bones, there is no peace. Meaning your externality can show a sense of peace, but in your bones, you know you are not at peace. So I want to share with you the antidote. Okay, 3 very simple things that we can take into our lives just to try and understand how to experience peace. The Gemara, this is a Gemara which was written about 2,500 years ago. And the Gemara tells us in Baba Basra that there were 3 individuals, there were 3 people who Hashem, the Holy One, blessed be, gave already in this world a taste of the world to come. Unbelievable. Imagine you could taste the world to come. Now again, what does the world to come look like? How would you identify the world to come? What would you say, Fish? How would the world to come be experienced for you? Shul bliss. Peace. Tranquility. 3 individuals that were given a taste of that. Or they were already given that in this world. Who were they? They were Avraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov. Now listen carefully. This is an equation that's very, very important, and is hidden inside of this is the access to this peace that we need. Avraham, as it says, written with regard to him, and the Lord blessed Avraham with everything. Bakol. Isaac, as it is written with regard to him, and I have eaten from everything. Mikol. Jacob, as it is written regarding him, because I have everything. Kol. So Avraham, Bakol, Yitzchak, Mikol, and Yaakov, Kol. Does this sound familiar to anyone here? Where do we mention these words? In benching, what do we say? Bakol, Mikol, Kol. We say, Hashem, bless us. Ken yivarech osanu. We should be blessed like the forefathers. Bakol, Mikol, Kol. Now what's the word Kol mean? Everything. You know what everything means? Everything means, I feel I have everything. You know what the chase is? The chase is I never feel like I have everything. And the only time I feel like I have everything is when I'm continually chasing and being successful in my chase. And the question is, how much chasing do you need to actually feel like you have everything? Until it comes to the recognition that there is something behind and beneath and between those things on your list. Even those great things of calling someone to say, how's it? Even those things that say here is an element of achievement within spirituality, the essence of spirituality is found on the blankness and the spaces in between of you. Now those spaces are found in these three words. And I'm going to offer these three suggestions of how a person can try and discover that space. The first one is the concept of bakol. Bakol means in everything. Now, a person that is able to experience life and say to themselves, all right, I have a particular idea of how I want to live my life. I have a particular idea of what I deem as successful or productive. Can I find success and connection in everything? Can I find myself experiencing life and feeling a sense of presence and connection, bakol, that I feel like I'm connected to everything? Even in my walking to wherever I'm going, I am connected. Even in that space of in-between in my life, can I experience a presence and experience a vitality of connection within that? That's called bakol, in everything. That I'm in everything. The next one is mikol. Mikol comes from the word from. What from means is the ability to say no. What the ability to say no means is I have the ability to say no to things in my life. You see, a person that can't say no, a person that can't say this is not healthy for me, not only for my food, not only for my lifestyle, not only for my social ability and how much I can see people, but also for my soul. And that inner resonance of self, I have to have the ability to say no. If I can't say no to something, that means I'm being too subsumed by the chase. Everything that I feel like I want to grab onto pulls me. Once you start having the ability to say no inside of yourself, through a sense of morality, through a sense of consciousness, do you develop the muscle to be able to say no to your own chase. And the final one is kol, is everything. Recognize that you are lacking nothing. Understand that the concept of the chase comes from this perpetual thought that you are empty and that you need more. When a person is able to reframe from the space of the soul, they come to a recognition, I have everything. When you say to yourself, everything is here by virtue of the infinite manifestation of infinity. Everything is here. Number one, bakol, understand that I can connect to everything in my life. I don't have to wait for those bright moments or those things that I deem as successful. Number two, I have the ability of saying no to things in my life. This is something that's not kosher. This is something that I should wake up for and not sleep in. This is something that I shouldn't be looking at. This is something that I have to be disciplined within. And the third one is the ability to say, I lack nothing. Recognize that you lack nothing. Then you can return back to your chase. Then you can come back to your chase and say, all right, let me re-engage with the world around me and see what do I need to do from a healthy place. And that's why I want to conclude with one of my favorite and most beautiful teachings from the Gemara. The Gemara says, Shloisha marchivin data shaladam. There are three things that expand your consciousness. You know what they are? Says it here in front of you. Elohein, dira na'eh, a beautiful abode, a beautiful house. Thank you, Adrian, for facilitating tonight and expanding our mind with your beautiful new home. And please God, you should continue to build this home as a binyan bayis of deep connection to Hashem and the blessing of having a shir here. Please God, it should continue. We should also go and use your sauna after. Ve'isha na'eh, a beautiful wife, gavaldik, a beautiful wife that also is expansive of one's consciousness. The kalim naim, and beautiful things, a nice car, nice clothing, nice watch. Sounds like a strange thing. Doesn't sound something like you would hear from the Torah, no? So I want to share with you the Kabbalistic insight. The Kabbalistic insight says like this. There are three things that most people are never satisfied with. Their home, they're not satisfied. They always wanted better, renovated. You always hear, I'm renovating, I'm getting another, never satisfied. A person's never satisfied with their wife. Halavai, a person should be satisfied. Who's satisfied with their wife? Unfortunately, this is taped, so I have to be careful who wasn't. A person's not satisfied. There's always could be better. There's always nicer. There's always more, not satisfied. And kalim, vessels, can always go buy something. How many watches do you need? How many things do you need? How many things do you need to improve? People are never satisfied with these three areas. And what the Torah tells us, and this is from the Vilna Gaon, three things, marchivin datoy shel adam. Three things are marchivin. Marchivin means are expanded because of your das, because of your consciousness. If you as a human being can find yourself on that page in the white and not in the list, if you as a human being can find yourself in bakol, mikol, kol, if you can find yourself in the space of your soul and your consciousness, those three things will start to appear like the most unbelievable things. You can just say to yourself, what a house I have. I don't need anything more than this. So unbelievable. What a wife I have. What a gift from Hashem. What things have I been given as gifts from Hashem in my vessels? Because suddenly you're not living in the chase anymore. You're living in the essence of yourself. And in that place, you are full and infinite. You're not depending on the chase for that definition. So please God, should be with blessing, and thank you for your time.